Greetings, Teacher Bell. I am Faith Margot Caubang, and this is my final oral exam submission in EDS 155 Game-Based Learning. In this video, I will start by sharing my favorite realizations from the course. Then, I will explain my discussion forums. Lastly, I will discuss our FMAs. As such, I will provide evidence of my fulfillment of the 3 course objectives. The first module in the course was my favorite. It opened my eyes to a new world. I have never seen myself as a gamer. God of War, Assassin's Creed, or Genshin Impact. I felt outside of these gaming communities as I leaned more towards mobile puzzle games, solitaire, and board games. But after reading the introductory module, I realized that there are several layers to gaming that I had not been able to appreciate before. Aside from being a fun solitary activity, games also bring people together. In the first week, we got to explore many games. I liked the social message and interactivity of 3D Farmer and the Red Cross movement. Another of my favorites was placement. For the first DF, I expounded on how placement, a simply animated game, played with clicks, is able to deliver the strong emotional experience of living paycheck to paycheck in the US. I related how the educational strategy game allows for learning from, with, and in games through its relevant content, game design, and immersion respectively. Interactions with my classmates and with you, Miss Bell, enabled me to expound the game elements of placement in educational contexts. In particular, I explained that placement is a useful tool to spark discussion and donate to the cause, but it is not sufficient for understanding the causes of poverty or providing sustainable solutions. Additionally, it is contextualized to the US, which may not be relatable or interesting to players from other cultures. The rules of play by Salen and Zimmerman, the domains of play by Vandenberg, and Sutton Smith's diversity of play forms and experience deepened my understanding of placement's mechanics, appeal to different personalities, cultural relevance, and experience as a learning tool. Thus, my DF1 shows my achievement of course objectives 2 and 3. In the second DF, I compared placement with the evolution of trust. Both games use mouse clicks, text feedback, and sound design as mechanics, teaching tools, and immersion. The two also have a mathematical element, encourage critical thinking, and build empathy in players. In contrast, the games have different content focus, placement focusing on poverty, while the evolution of trust on game theory. Placement has a darker theme, seen in icon design, color schemes, and sound choices. The evolution of trust has cute characters. The significance of these choices were explained via theoretical contributions from Al-Bashir, Kabir, and Rahman, Eggenfeld, Nielsen, Smith, and Tosca, Thompson, Jewell, and Adams. I dove into each game's effectiveness in teaching. As said earlier, placement can spark meaningful conversations, but lacks historical context on poverty and what to do about it. On the other hand, the evolution of trust provides in-depth explanations on game theory, trust and distrust, and how we can use what we learned for sustainable action. These efforts show my fulfillment of all 3 learning objectives. For the group work, one of my classmates really wanted me to be the leader, so I stepped up to the challenge. In FMA 1, we, group legendaries, worked together to develop Super MathCat, a game-based learning approach to budgeting and mathematics for grade 4 students. Here, we provided a very comprehensive proposal of a math game designed to meet 9 competencies based on the Department of Education's 2016 K-12 Curriculum Guide in Mathematics Grades 1 to 10. As a hybrid of an escape room and a scavenger hunt, Super MathCat provides a unique way of forming learners' mathematical prowess while leveraging active learning and collaboration. The theoretical framework of the game includes Schrader and McCreary's games as assessments, Fotaris and Mastora's Room to Educate framework, Huizinga's Magic Circle, Jenkins' Aesthetics of Games, and Vygotsky's Scaffolded Learning. Hence, the game fulfills objectives 1 and 2. FMA 2 involves our deep analysis of the game Pavlov's Dog. We understood its background, objectives, mechanics, visual and audio design, and accessibility. The game sought for players to understand classical conditioning. To win the game, players must learn to make a dog drool on demand. Different instruments and food were available for players to experiment with. The dog's animated reaction gave players a hint whether what they did was correct. It is available on desktops and tablets. Jesper Jewell's 6 features of games was used to frame the game qualities of Pavlov's Dog. It had specified rules, quantifiable outcomes through the dog's different reactions, and valorization, where one could only win if the dog drooled on instruction. Player effort, player attachment, and negotiable outcomes were also present in the varying combinations and sequences produced when users interacted with the game elements. Our group elaborated on the learning theories relatable to the game, such as behaviorism, cognitive load theory, constructivism, experiential learning, social learning theory, and games as assessment. We grounded the game in real-life contexts as well as provided improvements. We assessed the game to be immersive, engaging, and informative through its simple but effective design. We recommended designing an avatar, providing different level difficulties, adding a story, widening accessibility, real-time feedback, and a review exam to enhance the learning experience at multiple measures. In naming its strengths and weaknesses, we are able to distinguish it from other games. As such, our FMA 2 fulfills all 3 course objectives. Lastly, FMA 3 zeroed in on developing a game that solves a primary instructional problem. In Web of Life Eco's Journey, we develop an interactive twine file that serves as a demo for a game tackling 8th grade science, specifically organisms' interaction. The narrative-based game allows learners to explore an ecosystem and the different relationships within it. The game tackles instructional problems within the lessons, namely the lesson's lack of real-life examples, hands-on activities, and diversified teaching approaches. Through 5 different levels, players are able to understand producers and consumers, recognize the food chain, know about decomposers and omnivores, examine the energy level in a food chain, and be informed of the impact humans have on ecosystems. Our game is supported by game design and learning theories from Mayer, Piaget, Kapp, Sweller, Brand and Dalton, Caffey and Burke, MacLeod, Eggenfeld, Nielsen Smith, and Tosca, Jewell, and several others. Additionally, the game concludes with a powerful message that it is in the hands of learners to help or hurt the environment. Our awareness of its features as a game and as contextualized learning tools allow us to make a unique solution to an instructional problem. Given this, it serves as evidence that we met all 3 course objectives. In conclusion, I was able to differentiate types of games for learning, give a theoretically informed analysis of games as learning tools in context, and evaluate examples of educational games through meta-analysis of my learning, careful examination of existing games, and proposing of new games. Thank you!